Hi, you guys. So I saw it started off with a glitch on my end already. Whew. So it keeps picking back up. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We'll just power through, hopefully. Let me check something in preferences. Hey, you guys, it has been uh general stream. Go use hybrid automatically okay, try that. I'm going to try that, see if that works. Stream size, let's do this. Okay, let's try that, see if that helps a little bit. Um, you got the hiccups? Oh my gosh. I have been to Yakima and back this weekend. Went over for Michael's 80th birthday party at Susanna Michael's. Took me a bit to convince my husband that Michael was actually 80. Yeah. Anyway, we had a great time. Suzanne went all out with an extraordinary sit down dinner catered for 24 people at her home. And people from all over, friends of Michael's from way around. And it was just delightful. It was delightful. But we drove over yesterday morning and the pass was very tolerable. And today it was clear coming back. So we had cold, 27 degrees, but it was good. Um, and Rook had her first piano recital yesterday. We got to listen to the live stream on that. She's 6 and she's been taking lessons for like 6 weeks and was able to play Jingle Bells and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the piano. It was very cool. But we got some people here. We got Linda is here and Tamara. Somebody else is here, I think, lurking. Lupe might be in the background. Filling elves. Back. Yay. Sister says he's taking her out of the home. Oh, yay. That's not good. No, the internet has the hiccups. It's interesting because I made a couple little adjustments on where I had things located, and not so sure that that was wise, but we fixed it. But I'm still having some hiccups occasionally. So I just dropped the stream rate on it from being super high to a little lower so that it could adjust automatically. And we'll just go um, go with it. So tonight, let's do some show and tell. We got yay. And we start with Tamara's. So she says, I have a new hardcover drawing journal, and this drawing is the very first piece. I love this. This is so gorgeous. I love the face and the tree. It's just how you put it all together. It's, I don't have amaretto. I've got, this is a salted caramel Bailey's kind of, it's not Bailey's, it's the knockoff version, O'Callahan's or something, but that's what I have. But Tamara, this is beautiful. The shading, the use of pencil. I need to grab out my pencils. They're out in the studio, and I was just like, oh, where are my pencils? I really want to be doing drawing with my pencils after seeing this. I love it. And then she has these. So it's the first page and then some close-ups of it in there. I love it. Just, I love how you find a face in things. It's so beautiful. Really pretty. A4. I was in the Zen zone with this piece. She says, I was in the Zen zone with this piece. I would see that you would be. And then we have, next we have, also has had fun with doing acrylic wash on canvas. She had this one. This is really, I love this almost, well, it's the ocean and then the sun through the clouds. This is a winter sky that we get up here. So up here in the Pacific Northwest, there's the sun rises at like 124 degrees from due north, and then it sets at like 135 degrees. So there's this really narrow area that it's there through the, and it only gets to like 19 degrees off the horizon. So it's really flat and very short. Um, so when you get these sunsets over the water like this, they're coming through the clothes. I love that. That's really pretty. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And then this one is, hold it. Did I miss one? Nope, I didn't. Then this is the young mother. She's so small, and the baby is still too young to be out of the pouch. Oh, cute. So cute. Absolutely darling. Yay. Thank you, Kenna. Next, I have Linda sent this picture of a wreath that she did, and it's a gingerbread house wreath. My sister Carolyn picked up a bunch of those little bird houses like that, kind of like that from Michael's, and she painted them all as gingerbreads. But I love this that you did it in a wreath. It's so pretty. So pretty. I love the mix of the trees, not just red and green, but you've got the browns and the everything in there. Oh, Linda, I want to eat it. I know. Is that marshmallow? Marshmallow? That would be cool. Marshmallow wreath like that. Oh my gosh. Oh, hang on. Oh, this stuff makes me sneeze. Love it, Linda. Thank you so much. That's absolutely gorgeous. Yay. It's spray foam. It's spray foam. How cool is that? Oh, all right. Okay, and so my keyboard. I have done a couple things. I added a little bit of things to it. This is a Zentangle kind of like they do for cherry. So I made it into the holly berries as I was playing with them. And I just did it in pencil and pen. That's why I was saying I wish I had my pencils there. They're not in my little case, and I must have them out in the studio. And then today or yesterday, I guess it was the other day, and then a couple days, I did a Zentangle tree. And then I started on this guy, and he kind of got, I don't know why he has flowers in his hair, and I was just goofing and making a little hut for him and trying to fill the page. I was doodling, and I was doodling while I was listening to the end of a book called, what is it? Iron Flame or something like that. Anyway, dragons fantasy fiction book that a friend of mine recommended, and I've listened to the first one, and then I'm listening. But I'm only. Is it? Is he a gnome? Kind of a gnome. Yes, he's a gnome with flower power hair. In the wrong time of season, he's like, "What? What am I doing with flowers? I've got. It's Christmas." He's confused. You know. I started to try to do. I was going to do snowflakes on his hat, but then they became flowers, so I just let them go. They were too cute. Too cute. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Linda. It was just kind of, I guess this season has been kind of a season for holly and trying to play with different kind of things with that. But I really, realized I haven't. This is it's a Zentangle pattern, and then I did watercolor and stuff with. I've been playing with that. It's kind of a half snowflake, half holly. Not necessarily, but it's fun. It's just relaxing. Yay! So one of the wonderful things last night at this dinner party that I was at, Michael is an artist and an amazing artist, and he and Suzanne spent 6 years on a sailboat that went from Seattle down the coast of the United States and the coast of South America and over to the Galapagos and then to Fiji. And they went to Tasmania and New Zealand and Australia and Bali, all over the place that they were. And they lived on the boat for 6 years and all their adventures and the paintings that he did and stuff. But still, he still paints now. Then they came back and they lived not too far from me in Everett and lived in the artist loft. So there was a gal there who had lived in the artist loft with up from them. And then there were friends of another woman who was an artist, lives up Point No Point. And so we got to talk and all this. And because Suzanne and I have known each other since we were probably about 6. Our parents were friends. Her dad and my dad were good friends. And so all kind of things that way. And so, but this mix of people, and a lot of them were sailors, spend lots of times on sailboats. A lot of them have very large yachts and large sailboats. And um, I was a power boater, so I done the things. So it was just a real interesting mix of people, but it was fun because there was a mix of artists too, and we got to talk about a lot of that. It was an real fun evening. So he reminds me of Yosemite Sam. Oh, I love Yosemite Sam. Yosemite Sam with the Santa hat. Anyway, so as we were coming back, and I was like, what am I gonna read to ladies today? And I got, Linda saw me on my on camera channel, and I picked up a new overhead camera, and it's the OBSBot Meet 2. And it is only a webcam, really. And it's this tiny little thing. It literally measures 1.75 inches by 1.3 inches by 5/8 thick. And it's tiny. And it's a 4K camera. It's supposed to be really clear. And seriously, I popped it on and I was just stunned. And it hooked up easily and really good. And it's got an adjustment thing that I can use. So I'm rather excited because the hope is that it's going to have a much clearer picture. And from what my test is for books for you guys. So I have always, each year I have read my favorite Christmas book at some point. And the first year I read it, I think I held it up. Second year I read it, I might have had an overhead some way. I didn't have it real good. I might have, but one time found it on a library book on Libby or something to have it on screen, but I'm not sure. But I have my copy, and this time I've got the book in hand, and it's shows up. I tested it, it showed up so clear. So I'm excited for you guys to actually see it because it's that time of year for all our favorite things. And it's that perfect time of year. And that time of year is the year of the perfect Christmas tree. Now let me get up there. And let me get that just a little bit smaller so you don't have to see me so much. This is my favorite holiday book. The story, the way it's written, it's set in Appalachia, the mountains on the east coast of the United States that run through, I would say through the Virginias and Kentucky and I think and up further, but it's just wonderful. It's set during World War I. And it's just one I've loved to read, and I've always read. It's kind of got chew marks on it, My copy is kind of beat up, but that's what I'm going to read first tonight. Sea Shepherd. Nice and clear. The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree. Yay. An Appalachian Story by Gloria Houston and pictures by Barbara Cooney. Gloria Houston and Barbara Cooney are two of just classic children's authors and illustrators. Some of the most beautiful work. I think that you'll see if it says in here, the art for each picture was created with acrylic paints. It was then scanner separated and reproduced in full color. For Mama Ruth Green Houston and for MJ Myron. So this is the Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree. It was getting toward Christmas in the valley of Pine Grove. The wise folks said the old woman in the sky was picking her geese, for the Appalachian mountains lay blanketed with snow. The road wound like white ribbons round the misty blue ridges, tracked by the runners of wagons, sleds, and sleighs. Occasionally, an automobile chugged its way through the silence. Across the ocean, the Great War raged, but in the valley, all was at peace. It was getting on toward the Christmas Ruthie would never forget. The Christmas when the village almost did not have a Christmas tree. It happened this way. Ruthie told me so. "Come, my pretty young'un," Papa had said one day early in the spring. "It is time to choose the Christmas tree for the village church." "But, Papa, Christmas will not come for a long time," said Ruthie. "The sarvice trees are just now in bloom." "We must choose a special tree and mark it for the coming year. It is the custom in our village," said Papa, "for one family to give all the folks in the village and up every hill and holler a Christmas tree for Pine Grove Church. This year, it is our turn. Some years, a timbering man will give a fine round laurel from the northy coves, the kind the outlanders call rhododendrons. Other years, the holler folk may bring a cedar to spread its fragrance through the village church." "What kind of tree shall we have, Papa?" said Ruthie. "Oh, we shall have a balsam tree, my pretty young'un," said Papa. "The balsam grows up in the rocky crags where only a venturesome man may go. The balsam is a perfect tree. It grows up high, near to heaven." So Papa and Ruthie rode on old Pitey's back across the high cliffs and along the crags looking for the perfect balsam Christmas tree. They rode and rode from early morning until the sun was high in the sky. Finally, they saw it, growing on the edge of a high cliff on Grandfather Mountain, alone with no other trees around it. Its green color was dark and rich. It was the perfect shape and size, its tip-top pointing to heaven. "This will be our perfect Christmas tree," said Papa. "And as is in the custom, that self-same year, you shall be the heavenly angel in the village Christmas play. It is fitting that you should mark the Christmas tree." Papa took the red ribbon from Ruthie's coal-black curls. He lifted her high in his strong arms. "Tie it to the tip-top," he said. And then he kissed the dimple in each of Ruthie's cheeks. The summer came, and Papa was called away to be a soldier. He went to fight in a war far across the sea. That year the timber was not cut, so Mama had no money to buy coffee, sugar, or cloth for new dresses. Mama and Ruthie drank peppermint tea sweetened with honey, and Mama lowered the hems of Ruthie's dresses and embroidered pretty flowers over the tears in men's. And together they tended the little garden, growing vegetables to eat. And every night, Mama tucked Ruthie into her little bed and listened as she said the same prayer. "Please send my Papa home for Christmas," Ruthie whispered. "And please have old St. Nicholas Bring me a doll with a beautiful dress, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace. One day that fall, when the dried corn shocks rustled in the breeze, a package came from Papa. In it were soft silk stockings for Mama and blue satin hair ribbons for Ruthie. There was a letter, too. "I'll be home for Christmas," the letter said. "The war is finally over. The armistice was signed today." The days passed. Each day, Ruthie ran home from school as fast as the deer that fed by the stream. "Is Papa home?" she called as she ran up the steps. But every day, Mama said, "Not today. Maybe tomorrow. He will come on the Tweetsy train." The days passed, and Ruthie listened for the squeaky whistle of the little train the mountain folk called Tweetsy as it chugged through the valley and up the mountainside. One day, Mama and Ruthie harnessed old Piety to the sled and went to the station in Pinola. But when the other men from the village stepped down from the train, Papa was not with them. Soon there was only one more day until Christmas Eve. Over at the school, Miss Jenny and her pupils were practicing the Christmas play. The children sang the Appalachian lullaby, "Jesus, Jesus, rest your head, you have got a manger bed." And Miss Jenny chose the boy and the girl who would be Mary and Joseph. And then she called Ruthie's name. "This year you shall be the heavenly angel," Miss Jenny said. "This is the year your papa will give the church the Christmas tree." Miss Jenny helped Ruthie climb up to stand on the teacher's chair so it would look as if she were high up in the sky. Miss Jenny showed her how to hold her arms just so. "If you wear a dress with great big sleeves," said Miss Jenny, "it will look as if you have wings." "Mama, Mama," said Ruthie as she ran up the front steps that day, "I must have a new dress with great big sleeves. I'm going to be the heavenly angel when Papa gives the Christmas tree." "Oh, my pretty young'un," said Mama, "I have no cloth to make a dress with great big sleeves, and I have no money until your Papa comes home." And Mama kissed the dimple in each of Ruthie's cheeks and hugged her daughter tightly. That night, the preacher from Pine Grove knocked at the door. "Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, Miss Green," he said, "and Tom is not yet home from the war. Chad McKinney, has been saving a prime cedar on his bottomland for Christmas next. He'd his leave cut the tree this year." "This is the year our family gives the tree," said Mama. "Tom chose it before he went away to war." "I had hoped you'd heed my wish," said the preacher. "The church must have a Christmas tree when the morrow comes." "Tom is as good as his word. Our family will give the tree this year," said Mama. Late that night, Mama wakened Ruthie. They dressed in their warm coats, hats, and mittens. Mama hitched old Piety to the big sled Papa used to haul the fire logs from the ridges. The moon shone silver as Mama and Ruthie made their way up the hill, and Ruthie carried the lantern. As they came to the dark woods, the winter moon made strange shadows on the snow. "Mama, I'm afraid," said Ruthie. "No need to be afraid," said Mama. "We are off to get the perfect balsam Christmas tree." And Mama began to sing. "I wonder as I wander out under the sky." And Ruthie joined in the song, and soon she forgot to be afraid. Mama and Ruthie led old Piety and the sled up the hills and across the ridges, but they could not find the perfect balsam. "Papa says the balsam grows high up on the rocky crags up near heaven, where only a venturesome man will go," said Ruthie. "Oh, the rocky crag," said Mama. "We have a long climb ahead." And slowly they led old Piety along the ridge to the highest crag on Grandfather Mountain. They could see the village sleeping in the valley far below. Finally, at the edge of the highest cliff, they saw the balsam standing alone. "There it is, Mama!" Ruthie cried. There's my ribbon bow tied to the tip top. And Ruthie ran up the rocky crate as Mama and old Piety followed. The blade of Papa's axe shone in the moonlight as Mama lifted it high. The whack, crack, the sounds echoed through the rocks and hills. Then Mama picked up the saw and said, "Take hold of the end, my pretty young'un. Pull as hard as you ever can." And Mama pulled and Ruthie pulled and pull back and forth until the perfect balsam Christmas tree fell softly into the snow. Ruthie and Mama lifted the tree onto the sled and tied it there. Then they made their way down the ridge. "I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning," they sang. And through the soft snow, they led old Piety to the church. Together they lifted the perfect balsam Christmas tree from the sled and stood it in the corner near the belfry wall. Just as the sun was rising over Doe Hill, they hurried home. Tucking Ruthie into her little bed, Mama whispered, "The folks shall have their Christmas tree, and you shall be the heavenly angel this year." Ruthie fell fast asleep, but Mama sat long by the firelight, sewing as fast as her nimble fingers could move. First, she cut the ribbons and lace from a wedding dress the color of cream. From it, she fashioned a smaller dress with flowing sleeves. Then she took the soft silk stocking, stuffed it with lamb's wool, and stroked it until it was soft and round. She embroidered it with 2 blue eyes, little black curls, and made a dimple in each cheek. From the scraps of Ruthie's dress, she made a tiny dress just like it, all trimmed with ribbons and lace. She dressed the stocking doll in the tiny dress. The sun was high in the winter sky when a knock came at the door. "Good Christmas Eve, Preacher Alice," Mama said. "Do come in and spell yourself." "Did you hear the news about the Christmas tree?" said the preacher. "A wondrous balsam from the high crags was found on the belfry porch this morning." Do tell. What a wonder," said Mama. "And that's not all. It's being told hereabouts that folks who live up in the holler heard the angels singing high up on the ridge late into the night. And they were singing Christmas songs," said Preacher Alice. Ruthie hid her face in Mama's patchwork quilt so the preacher would not hear her laugh. Daylight was fading when Mama helped Ruthie into the prettiest dress Ruthie had ever seen. It was made of the softest silk, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace, and it had long, flowing sleeves. "If you hold your arms just so," said Mama, "it will look like you have wings." At the church, the ladies of the valley had decorated the perfect balsam Christmas tree. Reflections of the tiny red candles in their shiny holders fastened to the tips of the branches shone in the windows. Tied to the lower branches of the tree were presents wrapped in pretty paper. On the tip top was a tiny angel. The sexton rang the bell. From up and down the river road and from all the hills and hollers, the folks who were coming to celebrate the Christmas tree. A choir of children sat by the organ. 3 kings waited outside the belfry door. And behind the bed sheet curtain, Mama helped the little Mary put her doll to bed in the manger straw, and Ruthie climbed up and stood on the preacher's big chair. The ladies pushed the bed sheet curtain back, and Ruthie could see herself in the dark church windows. She was careful to hold her arms just so. In her beautiful dress, it looked as if she had wings. "Behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy," said Ruthie, the heavenly angel. When the program was over, Ruthie went to sit with Mama on the front pew, and Mama held her close. Then the three kings came walking down the aisle carrying lard pails filled with the Christmas treat pokes. Each bag contained a soft peppermint stick, some chocolate drops, an orange, and some hazelnuts. Behind the kings walked old St. Nicholas. He carried his toe sack goodie bag with him. Old St. Nick visited the Amen corner first. He gave each of the deacons a lump of coal or a willow switch. The folks in the church all laughed. Then to all the children who had misbehaved, old St. Nick gave a willow switch or lump of coal as well. Ruthie had been good that year, so she got a treat poke instead. At last it was time to call the names on the presents tied to the tree. Every child in the church received a present. Everyone, that is, except Ruthie. A tear slipped down into the dimple in her cheek. Then one of the kings reached to the tip top of the perfect balsam Christmas tree, and he lifted the tiny angel down. "Why, Ruthie," said old St. Nick, "this tiny angel looks just like you." And it did. And the tiny angel was wearing a dress just like Ruthie's. It was made of the softest silk, the color of cream. It was trimmed with ribbons and lace, and the sleeves were long and flowing, and it looked as if she had wings. The angel's curls were black as coal, and she had a dimple in each cheek. Ruthie hugged the tiny angel and kissed its silky cheek, which felt just like the silk stockings Papa had sent to Mama. The preacher said the benediction, and St. Nicholas wished to one and all a happy Christmas. And slowly the people began leaving the church. Mama and Ruthie walked out the belfry door. St. Nicholas was standing there. A man in an army uniform stood beside him. "And here is another present for you, Ruthie," said St. Nicholas. But Ruthie was so busy looking at the tiny angel that she did not notice until strong arms picked her up. "Let me look at you, my pretty young'un," said Papa's voice. And he hugged Ruthie and Mama and the tiny angel all at the same time. The village folk gathered around the church steps. Someone from the village began to sing, "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright." And the folk in the village joined in. But Papa, Mama, Ruthie, and the tiny angel hardly heard. They just hugged each other some more. And since that time, every year, for more than 60 years, a tiny angel has stood on top of a perfect balsam Christmas tree. She wears a dress of softest silk, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace. The sleeves are long and flowing, and it looks as if she has wings. The angel has coal black curls and a dimple in each cheek. That's how it happened. The Christmas of the heavenly angel and the perfect balsam Christmas tree. Grandma Ruthie told me so. The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree by Gloria Houston. Pictures by Barbara Cooney. Oh, such a wonderful book. Such a wonderful book. It has been one of my probably my number one favorite for so long in terms of Christmas books, and just it was always so fun to read at school because of how much more you could teach kids about, the Tweetsie train in World War I, and they were doing, and what a treat poke was, and all the different things that went along with the Appalachian, and then the different kinds of things about the trees, the sarvis tree and the balsam trees and cedars, and it's just wonderful. And the message too. It's so good. So the next book I have is by, so that's a favorite book, but this is by a favorite author illustrator. And Jan Brett. Why is she one of my favorites? I think it's because Jan's complete openness and generosity with her work. If you go to her website, janbrett.com, she has downloadable free things to make, bookmarks. She had things to go with her. You could make masks and do them for plays and stuff. She has so many resources, and they're all free. She doesn't mind if you use them. She loves it when you read her books, all the things. But this book was quite some time ago written. Anyway, she lives with her husband and daughter in Norwell, Massachusetts. She graduated from Boston Museum School. She's been fulfilling a lifetime dream of writing and illustrating books. One of her very first was Fritz and the Beautiful Hero Horses. But she's been created magnificent paintings that glorify her simple but engaging story. So when we look at this book, you're going to see the borders on her, and the borders all lead from page to page. They kind of foretell what's going on, but also her artwork. When she does it, it usually takes her about an hour to do a square inch of artwork. And she researches like crazy. The book I'm going is going to read tonight is called Annie and the Wild Animals. This is it's a fun one of hers. I don't know if I've read it recently or when. It's not one. Let's see, when did it come out? Oh yeah, see, it's one I've had for a while. Did she sign it for me? Nope, this isn't one of my signed copies. I had lunch with Jan one time, and we had a really nice conversation during it was at a authors conference. She came, and then Bob sent her a copy of her book, The Owl and the Pussycat, and it's always been, The Owl and the Pussycat has always been kind of a special thing for Bob and I. And he sent it to her and said, "Would you do this for us?" And so I think it was for our 30th wedding anniversary, and she signed it and wrote a whole thing on that. By the way, you guys, my wedding anniversary is on Tuesday the 17th. And let's see, I was married in 77. So what does that make it? I'm coming up on 47 years. Yeah. Woohoo. 47. So this, her artwork, she does colored pencil, paint, all kinds of stuff. But you'll see all around the edges, the animals. She always researched her husband. She did Berlioz the Bear, and her about that plays the cello and all this band of things. And her husband's a cello player, I believe, for the Boston Symphony. So, or he was at one time. I don't know if he still is, but so just this gorgeous work, and it always looks like, that has that Scandinavian. That's why I like Scandinavian aspect to it. But that's these books. And you have the mucklucks and the mittens and the hats, all these kind of things. And the blue jays all around, little overalls. And there's Annie and the kitty cat. And her clothes are all laid out here. And there's all her stuff. So that kind of foretells a little bit of the story. Annie and the Wild Animals. It had been snowing for days. Winter was lasting too long. Something was wrong with Annie's cat. Taffy had stopped playing. She ate more than usual. She slept all day long. And Annie found her curled up in strange places. One morning, Annie could not find Taffy anywhere. She looked and looked, but Taffy was gone, and Annie was very lonely. I need a new friend, thought Annie. She placed a corn cake at the edge of the wood. She imagined that a small furry animal would come and she would tame him for a pet. A small furry animal? The next morning, the corn cake was gone, and in its place stood a giant moose. He's too big to tame, thought Annie. I'll have to try again. That night, Annie left another corn cake at the edge of the wood. The next morning, the moose was back, and a snarling wildcat was there too. He's too mean to tame, thought Annie, and she placed some more corn cakes at the edge of the wood. Oh. The next morning, a big growling bear was there with the moose and the wildcat. Look at the details on her coat, on her jumper. She's got the bears. Oh, look at here. He's too grumpy for a pet, thought Annie. And Annie made as many corn cakes as she could and left them at the edge of the wood. At dawn, Annie heard snarls and growls of the wild animals. There was the moose and the wildcat and the bear. They had been joined by a stag, his family, and a large gray wolf. Not one of them is soft and friendly like Taffy, she thought. All the next day, Annie made corn cakes and left them at the edge of the wood. All night long, she heard the sounds of wild animals eating the corn cakes. Annie woke to find a great nose stuck through her window. It belonged to the moose, who was still hungry. There were wild animals everywhere. They roared for the next meal. The little house shook. The animals wanted more corn cakes, but when Annie looked into the barrel of cornmeal, it was empty. She couldn't make any more corn cakes. Annie was very sad. She would never find a pet now. She missed Taffy so much. All that night, a warm breeze blew from the south, and the snow melted, and the new buds could be seen on the plants and trees. The wood was coming alive again. But by the next morning, the wild animals had gone back to the wood. They would find food there now that spring had finally come. There's a frog. Then, as unexpected as the warm spring breeze, Taffy walked proudly into the yard. "Taffy!" Annie exclaimed. "You've come home. Where have you been?" Taffy turned and looked back the way she had come. And out of the woods came 3 soft and friendly kittens. Annie would not be lonely anymore. The details that she does on her books. Just see that. So amazing. See all around the edges. All her borders, on all of her books. She always has a border of some kind that fits with the culture that she's working in. When she did Berlioz the Bear, it was set in Russia. And when she did Armadillo Rodeo, of course, that's set in Texas. So it's so wonderful. Just, let's see, this one was done this is from 1985. Oh, yes. So I've had this book for a while. This is probably one of the girls. This is probably Brent Annalina's. Yay. I know. I love her layout on that. They're so fun. Kittens. Very deep. Her detail on all of her books are so amazing. I just everything she does. Let's see if I can find something real quick. Oh, pay. Come back here. Put my keyboard over to the side. Okay. So let's see if I can show you here. There. Okay. So here's her website, her 2024 fall tour, where she was going. But there. Okay. So you can kind of see here Jan Brett's Alice in a Winter Wonderland. She must have done it. That must be her latest book. She's Christmas Basket. What's that? So you can click on all of these different things. Hedgehog basket. Make a basket for cookies and candies. So due to this free PDF reader, help with printing, how to print this. So you can do this to make the hedgehog basket if you want. Hedgie. Hedgie is in so many of her books. Probably Hedgie was probably in this one somewhere. I just didn't find him. She has coloring pages, like for every book. Tell your own mitten story. Like the mitten. I love my teacher. Coloring alphabet tracers. Noah's Ark, her book. The Three Snow Bears. Husky. Gosh, she's got so many books that I haven't gotten around to seeing. Christmas Treasury Advent calendar. How to do this. Click on each of the links below to print out the full-size artwork. Tape the top 2 and the top back pages together. Cut out the doors on the 3 sides and then tape and glue the top together. Merry Christmas. I mean, you don't find a lot of artists who will, hang on, that's crooked. I'm moving this over here. Who will freely free up their work like this and just let everybody go on it. She has videos, computer games. She was going to be in Spokane, Seattle, Tacoma. When was she here? Come on. There. Garden, Maine. See where she's going to be. Kentucky, Georgia, Florida. Hood River, Oregon. Okay. She is in Hood River, Oregon. Then on the 13th, she was. The 14th, she was in Tacoma yesterday. And in Bellingham, she was in Tacoma Public Library, Tacoma Online Elementary, King's Books at Silas High. Oh, gosh, at the public library yesterday in Tacoma. And then Village Books at Bellingham High School. And then today she's in Spokane and then going to Missoula. She was in Spokane in the morning and then going to Missoula, Montana. So that was just some of the stuff that she's been on this trip. Wow. So she was just here. Dang. I didn't pay attention to that. Oh well. Christmas gift. She has things that you can make and gift tags. Like you can print the print them out. Sometimes you can print them out in her colors, or you can print them out in black and white and color them yourself, which is, I think, pretty fabulous that she lets that happen. So anyway, let's see. Kittens. Hey, Raven. I mean, Yolanda Raven's talk with. Hey, congratulations on winning your game. I'm the Seahawks are playing upstairs. I don't know how they're doing. I know when I came down to start the show, we were behind, but yeah, maybe they're picking up. Hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed. So, anyway, everybody, yep, I've got it right. Man. Well, we made it through. It didn't glitch again. I dropped that down and that instead of doing the high res thing, it did. But what'd you guys think of the new overhead camera? This new Meet 2. I thought it was much clearer for showing things and just, I mean, like, the other thing, like, I'll go back to one other thing. So it's just I can get details and I can bring it up to you and show you. That's some older stuff. Remember when we were doing that? Gosh, that's way back when. But some of the Christmas, I mean, so like today's, I could able to bring it up and show how it's working and the shading. I love this and it stays in focus. So it was a nice I think it's a nice addition for overhead stuff. And I'm really pleased. And I hope you guys liked it. It's a lot less hassle for me. And that's always a good thing. Pleased that I made it back from Eastern Washington in time for the show and that the traveling over the pass wasn't too bad. We did have snow on the way over, but not much. And like I said, I also got to listen to Rook live stream my 6-year-old. Oh my God, her first piano recital. That was just too cute. Bryn sent it out to everybody and I was able to screen record it, which was awesome because Bob was driving and he could only hear and he couldn't see it. So I screen recorded the live stream on Instagram and that was wonderful. Oh, it was fun. Maybe next week I'll show that for you guys, but for my art, just for fun. But I'll be back on Thursday with more. Linda, have I read Snow What? Skippy John Jones' Snow What? Because that's the only kind of Christmas winter one that I can find of theirs, and I think I have, but I might just do it again because it's Skippy time. I've got it on hold. It should be here. If not, I might just get it because it's one I need to have in my collection. So tonight, as I said, it was a repeat, but it was a good repeat. I hope you guys liked it. The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree, my favorite holiday book. It's one of those that it's a soothing kind of book to read. Sometimes some of the Christmas books are wild and kind of crazy. This is one of those that you can just enjoy that whole, oh, yes, it's become a Christmas tradition, this story, you bet. Yeah, what is it? Since Christmas 2021, 22, 23, 4 years, this is the 4th Christmas that I've been doing this stream. Oh my goodness, you guys. Well, everybody, I'm going to head upstairs, watch the rest of the game, unpack my bag because I haven't unpacked yet, and just kind of chill and be glad to be back over here, even though it's raining. At least it's not 27 degrees. Oh, it was beautiful though. I was at my sister's, stayed overnight. This morning we got up. It was gorgeous sunshine, crystal clear. You could see Mount Rainier, you could see Mount Adams, and it was 27 degrees. And there was snow all over the place, and it was crunchy and crusty, and there was about 6, 8 inches of snow. It had been there. There hadn't been any new snow, but it was gorgeous. Yeah. And then you had to get on the road. But people were good. They know what to do with those. Anyway, you guys, I made it home safe. I'm all good. And I am looking forward to being back on Thursday with more story time. And we'll see. 40 degrees centigrade, Tamara. That's like 100 and something or other in Fahrenheit. Yolanda, Tamara is in Australia. So that's why she's doing it. Oh, my goodness. So everybody, yeah, it's been great. It was a great weekend. I missed class, Yolanda, on Saturday, but I was in the car over the mountains filming and doing stuff and talking and getting ready to go to a friend's party. So I just decided to enjoy the time with my husband and family. It was good. So you guys, 47 years of marriage coming up Tuesday. Ching! Woohoo! Check it off. Yeah. And so yes, give me a good cheers on that. Bob and I cheers for making 47 years, having been together for 50 years ago. Fire warning. Oh gosh, Tamara, I'm sorry. Oh, she's got that fire alert. Yes, we met in October of 74. October 22nd of 1974. And so here we are, 50 years later, coming up on our 47th wedding anniversary. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Did you choose December to get married? And I said, well, because I didn't have to pay to have the church decorated. It was already decorated for Christmas. Had giant Christmas boughs all the way down the aisle and all the way across the front, and evergreen boughs, and all the candles were already along up the thing. And yeah, it was, I mean, the church where I grew up and where I got married decorates the whole thing. They do a carols and candle service on Christmas Eve, and it's decorated full out the whole time. And 2 giant Christmas trees in the front. Yeah, so why not? Then you don't have to. Only flowers I had to get were my own and ones for my boutonnieres and stuff like that. Hello, it's pretty cool. All right, you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna go watch some football. And thank you so much for being here tonight and filling my bucket. It's just been a great bucket filling weekend. I got to see my sister. I got to spend time with Suzanne and Michael for Michael's 80th birthday, and he's doing well after his brain surgery. And it was just like, yay. And meet a whole bunch of fun people and just have a wonderful time. And then I get to come back and do this. I mean, it's good. It's great. I love it. And I got to see Rook play the piano, so that's fun. Anyway, everybody, take care. And I'll see you Thursday. But until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you're going to find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And you'll see beauty looking right back at you. See you Thursday, everybody. Take care. And go to there.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. Just us on the boulevard, burying the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wild.
No, you're not. Linda, you're perfect.
Feeling starstruck too. We could be famous.
Yay. Thank you, Tamara. Good job.
Famous. looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try. Not average or typical.
You guys, Yolanda has been going live every day this month. She has been killing it. She hasn't killed herself yet, but she's killing it on going live. I'm so excited for her, so proud of her. I mean, she needs to pat herself. Yolanda, pat yourself on the back. From this Washington to your Washington, I'm sending you great pats on the back. Most welcome, girl. It's deserved. You deserve all the accolades. I know how hard it is to go live every day and for a month. Yeah. Yay! I'm glad you like it. Tora loves it too. This is my kind of dance it out. I get to chair dance.